Hey, what is going on, my little Plebulano mushrooms? Today I'm going to show you how to use SparkSwap AutoVaults plus the Sparkler to create another infinite money loop if you're using the AutoVaults. Let's get into it. So all of this being said, as a precursor to what I'm about to explain and show, is that you have a Sparkler position and an AutoVault position, or are looking to build an AutoVault position. And we're going to start off with a sparkler because this is how we create this is the origination of the infinite money loop where you do not have to sell any spark. So on your UI, you're going to see the exact same thing, but you're going to have some sort of pending LP here that you can claim. It does not matter what LP amount you have to claim. That's what we're going to be using the PLS portion of the LP that you earn to create this loop. So you're going to go on ahead and click on harvest, and then you'll click on the confirm in either Rabby or MetaMask. And after that transaction goes through, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the trade tab, and then we're going to click on liquidity, and then you're going to remove liquidity. Your liquidity will show up here, and you would just simply click the minus button. I'm sure many people watching this have already done this, so I'm not going to go over it too much. And I've also done a video covering SparkSwap before where I go a little bit more into detail with the original money loop. And it's kind of a short video, kind of long, but there's a lot jam-packed into it. So even if you're new, you can still get a lot of value and information going back and watching one of those videos and then coming back to this one and then trying to utilize the AutoVaults. So after you've removed your liquidity, you obviously have liquid Spark and liquid PLS. What you're going to do is you're going to take your liquid Spark and you're going to actually deposit it right back into your Sparkler to increase your ownership of the real revenue that SparkSwap is producing for every user within this part of the project. From there, we're going to go on ahead and click on I've already got it up here on the tab, but what you would do is you would click on vaults, and I like to right click and then open in a new tab because currently, and I think this is being worked on, but currently it pops up in the same tab, which can be annoying for some. Me personally, does not make a difference. And then from there, you will be presented with this page. And this shows all of the auto vaults on Pulse Chain. And if for some godforsaken reason you're on a different chain like BNB or whatever, you would just simply click on the Pulse icon. That seems pretty self-explanatory, right? From there, I need to work on my ums just a little bit. Not so bad, but it still needs a little work. So I want to look at this vault first before we get into the depth of the strategy. And the main reason is because if you decide not to split your LP, you have the option to also, if I click on Open Vault on Spark Maxi right here, it's got 50% SDI Spark, 50% Spark PLS LP within this vault. So if I click on Open Vault and I click on Deposit and then Asset Deposit, you can see here it's asking for Spark WPLS. However, you have to have equal parts of the LPs in the vault to be able to deposit the LP. You cannot zap an LP into an auto vault, which is why I said to begin with, you need to remove liquidity, and we're just going to be using the PLS to build our auto vault position. So in that scenario, you would just simply click on zap in and then select PLS and then zap any denomination that you would like to zap in. Obviously, you would not do 100% because you need PLS for gas. And if you don't have PLS, you can't do anything. So another thing that I would really like to point out really quickly as well, the auto vaults have ETFs, and I've done a video on how ETFs work, how to take profit from them, how to burn them multi-asset or single asset. For this infinite money loop or infinite money strategy, however you would like to phrase it, you need to be in a vault that has Spark as one of the assets in the ETF that you're earning as your take profit. Now, the example that I had just pulled up was the Spark Maxi. And the reason that I had that pulled up was because that is in the singular token Spark. So there's no extra steps. If you wanted to bare bones compound 50% and then the other 50% is raw Spark, this is the one that you would want to be in. But for this specific strategy, we're going to be using any other vault that's not 100% compound and has a take profit. And it does not matter what the take profit percent is either. So even this one, the Hill to SDI on, I think they ran out of room whenever they were typing, whatever. You could deposit your pulse. We'll open this and we will zap in. I'm going to do just 25% real quick. And here you can see your swap fees and price impact, and you can adjust your slippage tolerance. I always do 0.1%. It's hard to do on some pairs if they do not have deep liquidity. It really shouldn't be a problem with the Spark token because there's about $2 million worth of liquidity. So I'm going to go ahead and zap in, and by clicking deposit, it will activate the zap function, and then you would just click confirm. Now this is just an example. You could use, like I said, any vault that has an ETF with Spark in it to take profit. With this specific vault, even though I'm zapping into it, I would just simply take my SDI, ETH, or PLS, sell it for Spark, and then deposit. But the easier route, like I said, would be an SETF TP, take profit, or I think there's maybe two other ones. I forget them off the top of my head. So the SM ETF. This is actually one that I made on a different wallet, funnily enough. But you could pick EMP plus Spark or anything that has the Spark token, and then what you would be able to do is burn, multi-asset burn that ETF, and then use the Spark. And I'll go to the UI as I'm talking about it. That'd be the smart thing to do, right? Let's go to the ETFs, and we're going to click on Pulse whenever it loads here. And there we are. So I would pick any one of these that have Spark to cut out a step and safely take profit from the ecosystem, because you could use your Spark and deposit it right back into your Sparkler, and then you would run off with the SDI. I'm not sure if that's DI or SDI. I think it's SDI. If we click on View Fund, we'll be able to see it as it loads. SDI. So it is SDI that is in these ETFs. Me personally, not worried about SDI. I think the bridge is safe-oo. There's an audit going on with the bridge. No big deal. And here I am, back to rambling, but here we are. And like I said, you could take the SDI. You could sell it for more ETH if you want ETH. You could take both of those assets, sell them for Pulse, and all at the same time, you're depositing this Spark from the ETF back into your Sparkler, building up your position, your ownership of real revenue. Very powerful. And the example that I zapped into earlier as well, it was actually the PETF, the Pulse ETF. You could take any one of these assets, and me personally, I would probably take the SDI and sell it for Spark, because you're creating buy pressure on a stable pair at that point, and then you're still able to retain the PLS, not causing sell pressure on PLS, which Spark's main liquidity is tied to. So that's just another one of those small little things. And then you could just, like I said, I mean, the possibilities are endless. You could even, if you wanted to, you could sell both SDI and ETH from the Spark ETF, purchase Spark, and then deposit it in there, you know? So possibilities are endless. I'm sure there's going to be more ETFs that come onto the market as the progression of SparkSwap and these auto vaults progress. And I couldn't be more happy with my current position in SparkSwap and my position in other wallets within the auto vaults. So I mean, I don't know where you can go wrong. If there's any questions, just let me know in the comments section, or if I need to clarify on anything. Like I said, I've done a couple other videos here recently covering the auto vaults, how they operate, how you use the ETF to take profit, and how the ETFs actually work. So it's really what's being built out here at SparkSwap is bar none, top tier, Uniswap level shit, in my opinion. And the sky's the limit. You know, the token price could be volatile. It could be up one day, down the other day, but you cannot deny the utility and the what do they call it? The wealth creation, I believe is the term, that's being made on Pulse Chain, specifically from SparkSwap. And this is just from the bridge so far, the auto vaults, creating a sustainable sparkler contract that's being fed with real revenue, so you have true ownership of the DEX. I can't think of anything else better than that. And it's just getting started, baby. I gotta tell you, just getting started. I could see big things coming in the future. Just recently, they announced that perps are coming. What do you guys think that's going to do with the sparkler? That's more fees being generated and shoved directly down the throat of everybody that's staked in the sparkler. You could use a loop like this. You could follow my previous video, using the normal farm loop. But there's really no way that you can lose in this closed loop ecosystem. You just got to educate yourself, take the right steps, and prosper. I'll catch you guys on the next one.